Today, we see China as an economically and politically dominant world power. But did you know that the Shang civilization was the earliest ruling dynasty of China in recorded history? It lasted from 1600 BCE to 1046 BCE and is known for its advanced bronze technology, sophisticated writing system, astronomy, artistry, and so on. In this video, we will explore the rise and fall of this ancient civilization, telling you all about its culture, achievements, legacy, and the suicide attempt of a king that you might not know. The Shang Dynasty, also known as the Yin Dynasty, was a spectacular beacon of royal Chinese power. Nestled in the valley of the Yellow River, the Shang Dynasty marked the second millennium BC with its grandeur. But how did they succeed in carrying forward the legacy of the Xia Dynasty? And what led the Western Zhou Dynasty to follow in their footsteps? Critical texts such as the Book of Documents, Bamboo Annals, and records of the Grand Historian put light on the enigmatic Shang. Modern scholars propose a timeline for the dynasty that stretches between the 16th and 11th centuries BC. Isn't it fascinating that people agree more on when the dynasty ended than on when it actually started? This is because the Shang civilization had a murky past, with limited written records and conflicting accounts. Despite this, the Shang dynasty left an indelible mark on Chinese history. People of the Shang dynasty demonstrated a deep understanding of astronomical and mathematical principles. Comment down below if you love these subjects in your academics or not. Honestly, we don't. But the Shang dynasty was an expert in these fields. This is evidenced by inscriptions found on unearthed tortoise shells, which suggest their use of calendars. Initially, the Shang calendar was lunar-based. However, a man named Wan Nian developed a solar-based calendar. Through his careful observations, Wan Nian established a 365-day year and accurately pinpointed the two solstices. Other than that, the Shang dynasty was renowned for its exceptional artistry. Artisans of this era demonstrated their skill in crafting eye-catching bronze works, ceramics, and jade trinkets. Their approach to bronze work was unique, employing piece mold casting rather than the prevalent lost wax method. This involved creating a model of the desired object, encasing it in a clay mold, and then cutting the mold into sections. These sections were then removed, refired, and unified to create the final product. By 1200 BC, the Shang military had equipped their armies with horse-drawn chariots, a significant advancement. Prior to this, they relied on bronze-tipped spears, halberds, pointed axes, and bows for warfare. The Shang dynasty also played a crucial role in the evolution of the Chinese language. This era witnessed the emergence of early Chinese characters inscribed on cattle bones and tortoise shells. These inscriptions provide evidence of two numerical systems, one based on numbers 1 through 10, and the second on numbers 1 through 12. These contributions highlight the Shang dynasty's role in shaping modern Chinese society. Comment down below if you are familiar with these number systems. In 1300 BC, under the rule of King Pan Gung, the city of Anyang became the capital of the Shang dynasty. Anyang holds the honor of being the city from where the Shang kings ruled for over 2 centuries. At its heart was the political center, composed of grand temples, altars, and luxurious palaces. Surrounding the central hub was a bustling industrial area, home to a range of artisans, stone carvers, bronze workers, potters, and various others contributed to the city's vibrancy and prosperity. Beyond the industrial region were small structures and sacred burial sites. Another notable city in the Shang era was Zhangzhou, famous for its impressive city walks. These walls stretched for 4 miles, stood 32 feet high, and were remarkably 65 feet thick. Imagine the skill and dedication required to construct such a monument. Much of the history of the Shang dynasty has emerged from oracle bones in Anyang. These ancient relics depict a kingdom often engaged in warfare, with stories of fluctuating alliances with other regional powers. Prisoners captured from these wars had harsh destinies, serving as slaves or, in some cases, victims of sacrifice. Religion had a commanding place in the Shang culture, often featuring the ritual of sacrifice, sometimes in large gatherings. The king bore dual responsibilities, fluctuating not only as a political leader, but also as an eminent priest. Ancestors were held in high regard and believed to convey messages through the god Di. The Shang king also played an important role in leading the worship of Shang Di, perceived as the ultimate ancestor. The king also had the responsibility of interpreting communications from other ancestors, which were received by a group of seers. This deep-rooted belief system and cultural practice highlighted the complexity of the Shang dynasty. Now, let's have a look at their burial practices. During the early years of the Shang rule, royal burials involved laying to rest the subordinates alongside their respective sovereigns in the same chamber. However, this practice intensified towards the end of the dynasty, with each grave housing an increased number of bodies. A particular grave in Anyang, dating approximately to 1200 BC, was the resting place of an unnamed ruler, around whom 74 human bodies were buried, along with several horses and dogs. Surprisingly, Shang rulers would organize hunting parties to capture individuals from primitive tribes located in the northwest. These captives were to serve as sacrificial bodies in royal burial sites. Another grave in Anyang, dated around 1250 BC, is notably the final resting place of Lady Hao, believed to be the wife of King Wu Ding, a long-reigning monarch for 59 years. This grave is noteworthy for the presence of 16 human sacrifices, including children. But that is not all. It also contained a treasure trove of valuable artifacts comprising bronze and jade ornaments, weapons, stone sculptures, bone hairpins, arrowheads, and a collection of ivory carvings. A striking feature of Lady Hao's grave included 60 bronze wine vessels, each adorned with animal imagery. Bone inscriptions found in the site reveal that Lady Hao was not just a queen, but a military leader who led several significant campaigns during her lifetime. Every rise has a fall, and the Shang dynasty was no exception. Around 1046 BC, the Shang dynasty witnessed its decline under the rule of King Di Chen, who was infamous for his cruel demeanor and penchant for torturing his subjects. His reign started widespread resentment, fueling the flames of his downfall. The winds of change blew from the west, where the Zhao army, led by King Wu, had been overseeing the kingdom's frontier. The time had come for them to march towards the capital, their sights set on overthrowing the tyrant king. Desperate to maintain his hold, Di Chen mustered a force of nearly 200,000 slaves to aid in the defense. However, the king's harsh rule had tired these slaves out, and they decided to support the Zhao forces instead. This change of heart paved the way for the Battle of Muyi, a historical event where many Shang soldiers, out of disdain for Di Chen, chose not to fight against the Zhao. Some even turned their coats, joining the forces they were meant to combat. In a final act of desperate defiance, Di Chen chose suicide over surrender, setting his palace alight and sealing his fate. With the fall of the Shang, the Zhao dynasty ascended, ruling over China for the next 800 years. Despite its downfall, the Shang dynasty had carved its name deep into the annals of Chinese history. The legacy of its contributions to shaping Chinese culture, language, and society continues to live on, and its impact can still be seen today in modern China. From inscriptions on oracle bones to monumental constructions, the Shang dynasty will always hold a significant place in the hearts of the Chinese people. If you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, let us know in the comments if you want to see more videos on similar topics. You can also check out our previous video on the Shining Path. Goodbye until next time.